R.K. Narayan wrote his first book in 1935, and he claims that the book was inspired, or the stories were inspired by his own childhood experiences. So despite that, it almost felt like the stories were from my own life, and I'm sure that others who watched Malgudi Days feel the same way too. Hello everyone, I am right now sitting in the balcony of Mr. Narayan's home in Mysore. So there is a secret that I'm going to share with you towards the end of the video. Do watch the entire video. This video is the story of R.K. Narayan's house in Mysore, which has been turned into a museum. So let me start off with the story of the house. Mr. R.K. Narayan built this house many years ago, if I'm not wrong, in the 1950s sometime. And he lived in Mysore till the 1990s, after which he moved to live with his daughter in Chennai, and that is where he passed away in 2001. I'm not very good with dates. These are the dates that I remember, but don't consider them to be sacrosanct. Please cross-check all these dates for yourself. The house is where he lived and did a lot of his writing, and this is where he thought of great ideas, etc, etc. Now in 2011, his grandchildren were actually planning to tear down this house and build a new one. Of course, you know, it's a property that they were given, so they got the property in inheritance, and they maybe had some of their own plans. But when they started tearing down the property, and when the builder who they had appointed started tearing down the property, a local newspaper by the name of Star of Mysore started running a campaign about the importance of this particular building where Mr. Narayan lived, and stuff like that. And because of that, MUDA, which is the Mysore Urban Development Authority, stepped in and they halted the demolition. After that, the Mysuru City Corporation Commissioner also got involved. This house was earmarked, or it was announced as a heritage building for Mysore, and then they made a deal with the family. So from whatever I have read with the information that's available inside the house, they paid about 2.4 crores Indian rupees to the family and another 35 lakhs to restore the house. So that's the kind of money that the corporation spent, and the good thing is that they actually restored the house and did not renovate it completely, because that was not the idea. The Mysuru City Corporation of that time wanted the house to be as close as possible to the way Mr. Narayan used to live in it, and I think that they've done a fairly good job of it. It is very minimalistic, very simple, to the point that a lot of people might get disappointed that, oh my god, this is too simple to be a monument or a museum. But that's the point, I think, of being in the house where Mr. Narayan lived, because he, through his writing also, you can clearly understand, was a man of very simple nature, of very simple thoughts, and that is why he was able to connect with people all over the world. Next, I will talk to you about the experience of visiting this place. Once you enter the house, the entry is free. That's another great point. And secondly, once you enter the house, you get to see the accolades that the man won, and I think he was a man of great achievement. He got the second and the third highest and the second highest civilian honor in India, which is the Padma Vibhushan and the Padma Bhushan. He also got a host of awards from different countries, most of them from UK, and all of these awards and their mentions, some of the medals, some of the plaques are there for all of us to see. So all of these things are there for you to see. So if you are someone who's loved his writing, here you come and get to know the kind of recognition that his writing got. But it doesn't really stop there. What you also get to see and understand is the life of the man. So there are many black and white pictures showcasing him from his youth days, and then later on when he was in his 50s, and of course when he was in the sunset years of his lives. And the other interesting thing which I feel that the Mysore City Corporation has done is that rather than just depending on artifacts or things from his life, they've actually also blown out a lot of texts about him. So articles which were written about Mr. Narayan by different writers, by different magazines, have been put up on display, and you actually have a reader's experience even when you come to the museum. So this museum is not like one of those places where you just see things and read a caption and move on. Here, if you are a reader who loves R.K. Narayan, you'll actually spend more time reading about him, and I think that's a pretty cool way. I don't know whether they decided or they had the design of giving a tribute to the man like this, but even if they didn't, I think it ends up being a very interesting way of remembering a man who was known because of his words. His full name is Rasipuram Krishnaswamy Iyer Narayan Swamy, Rasipuram Krishnaswamy Iyer Narayan Swamy. And on the recommendation of some other writer mentor, he actually shortened his name to R.K. Narayan so that people around the globe would remember his name and would find it easy to pronounce or to repeat his name. So that was really important. What you also learn is that his life, or at least the early decades of his life when he was young, were fraught with struggles. So he got out of college, he never really had interest for academic work, he wanted to become a writer. He started writing for a Chennai based newspaper called The Justice. Now the interesting thing about The Justice is that Justice was dedicated to the cause of the rights of non-Brahmins, and Mr. Narayan was a Brahmin. So he was writing and working for this newspaper, and the newspaper owners found it pretty interesting that a Brahmin was actually espousing the cause of non-Brahmins. So I think that probably is one of the reasons why they hired him. But his love for fiction writing was the most strongest, and that is how he wrote his first novel called Swamy and Friends. Yes, the famous Swamy and Friends from Malgudi days. And he sent the manuscript through a friend to the UK. His friend could not get the book published, and he had pretty much given up on the book, and he almost told his friend that he should just destroy the manuscript. The friend then found someone interested in Graham Greene. Graham Greene himself is a very well-known writer. I haven't read any of his work, so I can't comment much beyond that. But Graham Greene went on to become R.K. Narayan's mentor and a great friend. He got his first book published, and after that also many others. So there was Swamy and Friends. After Swamy and Friends, there was Bachelor of Arts, there was The Dark Room. All of these earlier books written by Mr. R.K. Narayan were semi-autobiographical in nature. So while the setting was of Malgudi, many of the incidents and all these things were actually happening or had happened here in Mysore. So in the first few years after he started writing, many things also happened with him. His wife really passed away very early in her life. She died because of typhoid. He never married again. He had a daughter of 3 years, and he was really worried about his daughter. His daughter's name was Hema, and that's how all of these things happened. And despite having books which were really loved by critics, his book didn't really sell a lot in the beginning years. He had to accept a commission from the government of Mysore to actually make both ends meet. So those were the struggle of the early days. But eventually, as his books started becoming more well known, as more and more people got to know about him, as his books reached the United States printing presses, etc., etc., he started making money and started becoming more well known across the world. So these are all things that I have learned because of visiting this house, not because I have read them somewhere else on the internet. But what could be better? Now that's really important, right? So that's the third part about what I want to discuss. I came to this place back in 2017. It was a free entry then. It's a free entry now. The place, in my opinion, definitely needs a little more of marketing so that more people like us walk in. And once we walk in, and if we are paying an entry fee, if we are spreading the word, I think more people will come in. That will help the place. But to do that as well, I think the city corporation may want to include more things like audio messages from Mr. Narayan, if they have any audio recordings of him, some scenes from Malgudi days, music that he really used to like, etc., etc. So if they make it more of a multimedia experience, I think many more people will be interested. Mysore has many different tourist attractions. It definitely is one of the top tourist cities in India. People also come here to learn yoga. Maybe that's like gone down during the pandemic, but I'm sure that this entire thing, the tourism, yoga enthusiasm, everything will get revived in the next few months after everyone in India is vaccinated. So if you are thinking of coming down to Mysore, you should definitely make R.K. Narayan's house, you know, one of the places that you will visit, because I think it's a fascinating place for anyone who likes Malgudi Days, literature, and R.K. Narayan's own writing. So do make a point to visit this place. Of course, I wouldn't go to the length of saying that you just come to Mysore because you want to visit R.K. Narayan's house, but don't miss it if you ever come here. I do understand that the city corporation could do a better job in terms of sprucing up the place, making it more interesting, but I think they've done an even more fabulous job in actually fighting for this place and then restoring it to what it was and making this place available to enthusiasts like us. So if you are somebody who already likes R.K. Narayan, you are in Mysore, and if you don't come here, it's a very, very sad thing. Okay, so that's that about the place and the video. Now I wanted to tell you that secret, right? I told you in the beginning of the video, there's a secret as well. The secret is that I moved to Mysore along with my wife and my family. One of the big reasons is that R.K. Narayan is also from this city. Though, you know, R.K. Narayan wrote a lot more books by the time he was my age, I still intend to become a published writer, and my dream is to write a lot of books in this lifetime. And I somehow feel that being in the same city and visiting the house of Mr. R.K. Narayan over and over again will have some sort of rub-off effect on me, and I may end up becoming a better writer. So if you ever read whatever I have written, do remember that there is a possibility that the inspiration lies in this house. So that's that in this video. I hope you liked it, and you will come back and watch some other videos that we will keep creating on this channel here. Thank you. Hey, if you liked that video, then go ahead and follow Eccentric Sachin. You can also go ahead and smash that subscribe button and hit the bell notification. Until we meet in the next video, keep traveling.